Hey guys, Kill Lancer here. Want to never Kill Lancer Gaming? Don't forget the bell button, the subscribe button to get notifications to my channel. Alright guys, I got another Highway series, and basically this is about the demo Cris. I seen this last, I think last E3, and I didn't know they released a demo not too long ago, and I was excited to give it a try. The game is really fun. It's really innovating. I can't really give bad things about the game because it's still a demo, so it has time to develop. And this game is made by an indie company called Mobius Games. They came out with a few games that you guys might know. Some of those games I don't really know. But the first thing we're going to do a story breakdown of the game. So let's dive up right into it. All right, Cris starts with Cris. Cris starts out at an orphanage with a bunch of other girls. It looks like an all-girl orphanage, and pretty much you're running through like the flowers and stuff like that. I think you got to pick flowers and whatnot for the madam that pretty much lives there. I can't call her madam, but we're gonna say sister. And the thing about Cris is, like, Cris is, you know, like, she's just this innocent girl. Like, she doesn't really know the outside world or anything like that. The orphanage has always, from what I'm seeing, has always been her life. So she's curious to a lot of things, from what my understanding of her character. And her character is pretty cool. Her character is pretty solid. And her character is pretty fun. I think everybody can possibly have some type of relation with her, some type of thing they can relate to Cris with. She seems to be a strong, stern female character, in my opinions, from just a little bit of this demo, but also from me reading the background stories on the website, which I'll put in the description below. Or we could possibly I could possibly do a video on that later. What the heck, I'll just put it in the description below. But anyway, as you progress through the demo, Cris, you know, she basically is trying to look for a flower, and as she looks for a flower that was taken by this little frog, she goes into pretty much the Cathedral Church. As she goes into Cathedral Church, she pretty much sees this mural, like, in the glass and everything. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like her. It looks like a story of her. From me, you know, looking on the outside. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know. And it's interesting. It's interesting is because the mural is so beautiful. Like, it looks like it's telling a story. So anyway, Cris is captivated by the mural, and for some fair reason she gets this jolt. And as she gets out of the cathedral, she's seeing all different forms of time. She's seeing the past, and she's seeing the present, and she's seeing the future. And this scares her. She doesn't know how to deal with this. And then her frog friend, well, he becomes her friend, pretty much tells her where she has to go in order to understand these powers. So you leave the town and you go off and to this forest and whatnot, and you meet this other young mage. He's a boy, and his ability is I guess like perception. Like, he changes his perception of what people really see when they see him. And he broke down what Cris is. She is a time mage, and I just found it really interesting that this game revolves around mages and whatnot. So that's the amazing part about the story. Later on down within the demo, Chris's village is basically getting attacked, is getting decimated and stuff like that, and she doesn't know what to do about it. So she leaves there to find out how to solve the problem of her village being decimated. So she goes back to this young mage character, and he basically tells her about a legendary sword. So he shows her the way and how to get the legendary sword. And once she gets the legendary sword, it looks like she turns into a teenager. From what I'm seeing, it looks like she's turned into a teenager, or maybe her dress just overlopes, comes apart and turns into like almost like a battle type of dress. And she gets all this combat experience and everything. So she uses that sword and she saves her village. But she gets cast out of her village is because the village is looking for somebody to blame for this destruction of the village. And seeing that Cris is changed, she's transformed, and she looks different, they think that by her transforming that she was the cause of this problem, which as we're going to find out, she wasn't the cause of the problem. But anyway, that's the breakdown of the story. So now we're going to jump into the gameplay mechanics. Now, the gameplay is really straightforward turn-based JRPG, which is fine for me. May not be fine for you newcomers to turn-based. I'm talking about younger people. May not be fine to you, but for me, it was fine. You know, I love playing turn-based RPGs. You got the attack, you got the attack tree, you got the skill tree, and you got the item tree, which you can choose from. And then also you have the nice little system up above that tells you who turn is going to be, which is really innovating. From my perspective and whatnot. Not all RPGs had that back in the day. I more so didn't start seeing like those turn-based bars until like later on down the line as I got older. I think like maybe like PS2, probably about the PS2 era and stuff like that, when you started seeing like bars like that, which was like games like Grandia and later other Final Fantasy games later on down the line, which is really cool. So anyhow, then you have the time system. Now remember that I said previously that the game is about Cris and she's a time mage. Well, she can use her time power within the battle system, which is really cool. She can either take an enemy to the past or take an enemy to the future. If you take them to the past, I believe that decreases their power. It makes them younger if you go into the past. But when you go into the future, that just might power them up, or it just might make them old. You don't know. It's pretty much like a gamble of using the time, the time system. But whatever you do in the past can affect them, or whatever you do in the present can affect their future. For example, I noticed from the tutorial that I was getting on the battle system, I threw rust on the boss enemy, and then the boss enemy on there pretty much has these two shields. So when I took her into the future, that effect of the water started rusting the armor, and I was able to do massive damage with Cris and her other companion, which I found really innovative. I've never seen that in a turn-based RPG, and I think it's really unique. And also the other cool thing I found out about this game, where this game has a timing system when it comes down to your attacks. So if you launch off an attack, you press it at that one moment at the tip of an attack, and you can do combos and stuff like that, automated combos, which that's really cool. Not a lot of RPGs had that back then, and I find this like really neat to put into your combat system. But also, not only that you can do that with your attacks, you can do it with your defense when an enemy is shooting a barrage of attacks. And my timing at times is not really good when it comes down to that, so I was getting jacked up. So you just gotta time yourself and get a full understanding and read your enemy and read their attack patterns, which is really cool. Now we're going to talk about the choice system. Now the choice system is really unique. I came across a situation when there was a rotten pharmacy in the future, but in the present it was fine. In the past it was fine, but it had some type of defect that would rot the whole entire building. Now I've had the choice to save that pharmacy or to save this family that's going to be orphans. So I like that you have a choice between, you either can save the pharmacy or save a citizen's home. I can't wait to see what happens later on down the line when it comes down to the choices and how well does the choices affect the storyline. And I think it's really innovating for a game like this, an indie game at that. For me, I chose to save the pharmacy. It's because if you save the pharmacy, you can be able to save those people that are orphaned from their house from any sicknesses. That's what I put together for myself. But because if they have a house, chances are if they get sick, what are they going to do when they get sick? Logically, that's what I put together. Then you got the world map system, which is not really in a lot of games today. The world map system is not in a lot of games today, in my personal opinion. I'm glad they brought the world map system back. A lot of role-playing games back in the day, turn-based, always had like a world map system. Now I'm starting to see in a lot of games, world map systems don't really exist anymore because the whole worlds are connected, which I always wanted that as a kid. I always wanted a system like that as a kid. I always wanted the whole world to just connect together instead of me just walking out on a freaking map. I guess I just disliked it. you know, in my opinion. The world map is really nice. It's really beautiful. It reminds me of a storybook. Far as though when it comes down to the graphics are vibrant, the colors are nice, the game is beautiful, guys. I love the way this game looks, and it really does look like a storytell. Cris tells, it really does look like a storybook, and I'm excited to see how this game turns out. You can download the game on Steam. Just type in Cris Tells demo and it'll pop right up and you can download it. Right now it's for the PC. It's coming out for consoles too. We don't have a release date of this game just yet, which is sad because I really want to play this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it on PC or Nintendo Switch. This seems like a Nintendo Switch game to me, but the game plays really good on the PC, so I'm kind of conflicted on what I should do when it comes down to playing this game, what platform I want to play it on. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get the notifications to this channel, guys. And it's very important, guys, that you click the like button. It's very important that you comment, guys. I want to get feedback from you guys. Even though I don't have a lot of subscribers, I still want to hear your feedback, guys. I want to know what games you want to hear about, what games do you think that I like, and what maybe I'll just put a video together of that. Also, there's a few other videos that I have to rework on, which is my mecha series video that I couldn't do because I got a copyright claim on it, so I had to take that video down. But now, since I have this recording setup, I'm going to record the setup like this where you can see my face. I'm going to be showing my face a lot more now that I have this setup, guys. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for more videos. Stay tuned for the Division that I'm going to be streaming, guys, for the next upcoming week. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. It's Kill Lancer, and we got more.